Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Fordy Runs. If you're running the Brighton Marathon, you need to check this video out. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Fordy Runs. If this is your first time at Fordy Runs, smash that pink button down there that says subscribe on it. Go to our Facebook page and join the Fordy Runs running community and check out the description. There's loads of cool things. Right, so the Brighton Marathon. Well, I thought a cool thing to do would be to get somebody who's ran the Brighton Marathon on the channel to give us some tips. So here is Chris from Here We Are Running, who ran the Brighton Marathon in 2018.
Hi guys, Chris here, and I'm delighted to be back on Fordy's channel to share with you my tips for running the Brighton Marathon. Now, if you didn't know, I ran the Brighton Marathon last year for the first time, and if you take a look at my video of that race as well as these tips, then you are going to be well set up if you're doing the event this year. So let's get straight into my first tip. Now, my first tip is all about what happens before the event. So you need to pick up your race pack first of all from the seafront in Brighton. Now, I wouldn't leave that right to the end of the Saturday in order to do that. That's when you might get queues. I picked mine up around just after lunchtime on the Saturday last year. No queues at all, went straight through it, got my race pack, got my t-shirt, all sorted. Then on the day itself, you need to get to the start, which is at Preston Park. Now, if you're coming in on the train or you're coming in from the centre of Brighton, it took about 15 minutes to walk from Brighton train station to Preston Park. It is pretty crowded when you get there, and there isn't a lot to do other than drop your bag off, go to the toilets, meet up with anyone else you might be meeting, that sort of thing. And then you're going to get into your start pens. Now, there will be queues for the toilets, and guarantee that. But it's worth knowing that if it's the same as last year, there were toilets between the start pens and the actual start. There's a little bit of a walk when they let you out of the start pens. You walk towards the start and there are some toilets along that route. So worth bearing that in mind. Now on to tip number 2, and I cannot emphasize this enough. And I say this for every marathon, do not start off too fast. And that's particularly important for Brighton because in the first half of Brighton, there are some inclines, and the second half, when it's much flatter. And if I looked at my Garmin from running it last year, 3/4 of the total elevation gain was in that first half. So just bear that in mind, and you want to make sure you get to the halfway mark with still pretty fresh legs. And if you do that, you should be all right going forward into the second half of that marathon. And my third tip is about mental strength. You're going to need it. You need it in any marathon, don't you? But in Brighton, at around the 19-mile mark, up to maybe 22 miles, you start by running away from the finish. You're heading into kind of the industrial area towards the power station, and then you take a turn and you start heading back again. It's a quiet area. There isn't a lot of support there. And it is when things start to get tough. So you are going to need mental strength at that point. Once you're over that bit, you start to get the crowds building up. You're starting to then run towards the finish. And my final tip, tip number 4, and that is really just make sure you enjoy it. It's a fantastic marathon to take part in, and the support throughout is really good. And as you're heading towards that finish, no matter how bad you feel, how bad your legs are, how bad you're feeling inside, just take a look around, yeah? Take a look around. You're going to be headed towards that finish. Take a look around at the crowds. They'll be cheering you on. If you've got your name on your shirt, they're going to be shouting your name out. Take a look around, take it in, and just smile as you're running that final straight along the seafront and into the finish to pick up your medal, because you've just run 26.2 miles, and that is fantastic. So guys, those are my tips, my top tips if you're running the Brighton Marathon. And if you are, I really do wish you all the best of luck. You're going to have a fantastic time, I'm sure. Thanks again to Fordy for having me on the channel. But for me, that's it for now, guys. Goodbye.
Thanks very much, Chris. I really do appreciate you taking the time to come in the channel. Chris's links is in the description, so check out all his stuff down there. I'm going to put a link to his channel and other things like that. Make sure you do subscribe as well. He's doing the Edinburgh Marathon this year. But that's it from me. Good luck in Brighton, and I'll catch you guys later.